Meri Brown's escape to New York for a peaceful Christmas takes a dark twist. Tired of years of drama, she seeks a break from her polygamous marriage. But her freedom might come at a much higher price. While Meri searches for solace in the city's lights, Kody's control over his family spirals into something more suffocating than ever before. In a shocking move, he orders his daughter's boyfriend to practice chastity, a demand that sends shockwaves through the family. Will Meri find peace, or is she running away from a battle she can never escape? Part 1. For over a decade, the Brown family has been under the watchful eye of the public, capturing hearts and shocking viewers on their journey through polygamy, love, and family dynamics. Kody Brown, the patriarch, has led his family through highs and lows, but his latest decision has turned the entire family's world upside down. His marriages, once symbols of love and commitment, have become ground zero for something darker, something that could change the course of their future forever. It all started with a seemingly innocent conversation. Kody, listen, if you want to be part of this family, you need to follow our rules. Chastity isn't just a suggestion, it's non-negotiable. I have to set the standard for this family, for everyone in it. It was a moment no one expected. Kody, the father, sat across from his daughter's boyfriend, issuing a command that would ignite a storm of controversy: chastity, a term that seemed innocent enough when used in the context of religion and moral guidance. But when Kody demanded it as a rule for his daughter's relationship, it shattered the fragile balance of their family. Robin, I'm not sure this is the right move. I love Kody, but his expectations are so high. This isn't just about chastity, this is about control. As Kody's demands grew stronger, the tension within the family grew unbearable. His wives, each with their own emotional investment, began to question his motives. Was this about love? Or was it about asserting dominance over his children's relationships? Kody, you think I'm being too hard on them? I'm doing what's best for this family. Christine, Kody, there's a limit to what we can enforce. We're not dictators. We're supposed to be a family. The family was no longer united. The pressure from Kody's demands left his wives torn, their loyalty to their husband tested. For some, Kody's actions crossed a line. For others, they stood by him, believing that his leadership was the glue that held them together. Robin, I don't know what to do anymore. I married Kody to build something special, but it feels like he's pushing us all too hard. I'm scared of what this could mean for us. Kody, this isn't about control. It's about preparing the next generation, about setting the right example. People don't understand that I'm doing this for their own good. I want them to learn how to love with respect. This is not just about me. This is about family values. Kody's belief in control didn't just stem from his own leadership aspirations. It was shaped by his upbringing. But as the family's rebellion against him grew, Kody realized that what he had seen as guidance, his wives and children saw as oppression. Kody's daughter, you can't control me like this. I'm not some puppet, Dad. In that one moment, everything changed. Kody's authority, his control over his family, was challenged. And it was his own daughter, his flesh and blood, who confronted him. The betrayal cut deeper than he ever expected. His children, once obedient, were no longer afraid to speak their truth. The final straw was broken when Kody's own wives began to speak out. Robin, Christine, Janelle, they all realized that Kody's behavior wasn't just about chastity. It was about control, and the manipulation had gone too far. Kody's leadership was crumbling, and so was the family's unity. As the family's private struggles became public, the backlash from fans was swift and unforgiving. People were shocked, outraged. How could Kody demand something so personal from his children, and expect to get away with it. The public support for the Brown family was quickly dwindling. Kody Brown thought he could control his family's destiny, but in the end, his demands might have cost him everything. This isn't just a family torn apart. It's a battle for the future of polygamy itself. What will Kody do next? Will his family find a way to heal? Or is this the end of the Brown family as we know it? Part 2. For years, Meri Brown's life has been defined by the struggles of her polygamous marriage. Between her complicated relationship with Kody and the tension within her family, Meri's had little time for herself. But this Christmas, she's determined to change that. After years of feeling overlooked and underappreciated, Meri finally makes a decision. She needs a break, a fresh start, if only for a few days. And where better to find yourself than the vibrant, bustling streets of New York City? Meri, it's hard to believe we're finally doing this. I needed this, to just breathe and forget everything back home. New York City at Christmas time is a world apart from the stress and tension that has followed Meri for years. The city's energy is infectious, and as she explores the famous holiday markets with Jenn, she begins to feel a sense of freedom she hasn't felt in a long time. Jenn, look at this one. This screams Meri. Meri, I love it. It's just what I needed. Something that's just for me. For the first time in years, Meri has time to simply think. She's away from the drama of home, away from the endless demands of family life. Here in New York, she's free to reflect on her journey and on the person she's become. Meri, it feels good to be outside the chaos. I love my family, but sometimes I just need to step back, to breathe, to remember who I am, beyond all the roles I've been forced into. But even in the joy of New York, the weight of Meri's past lingers. Her relationship with Kody, her struggles with the family dynamic. These are not easy things to forget. And as the days go by, Meri finds herself questioning, what is she really looking for? And can she ever leave her past behind completely? As Meri spends more time with Jenn, their bond deepens. Jenn, who has been by her side through thick and thin, becomes a sounding board for Meri's deepest thoughts. In the warmth of their friendship, Meri begins to rediscover pieces of herself she thought she had lost. Meri, I know I'm supposed to be strong all the time, but sometimes it feels like everything is falling apart. Maybe this vacation is just a temporary escape, but I need to believe that I can be more than just a wife or a mother or a sister wife. I want to be me. As the holiday lights flicker and shine, Meri finds herself standing at a crossroads. She realizes that this trip isn't just a break from her family drama. It's a wake-up call. A call to rediscover who she really is and what she really wants out of life. And then, as the city lights glisten in the distance, Meri makes a decision that could change the course of her life. But is she ready to take that step? Will she return home changed? Or will the weight of her past continue to follow her no matter where she goes? Just as Meri begins to feel a sense of peace, the past comes rushing back in the form of a phone call. It's Kody, demanding answers, wanting to know where she is and what she's doing. The pressure to return to the family is overwhelming. Can Meri truly break free from the weight of her past? Or is she destined to carry it forever? Meri, I need space, Kody. I can't keep doing this. I need time to figure out what I want. For once, I need to think about me. Meri's Christmas getaway may be coming to an end, but what she's found in New York will stay with her forever. A renewed sense of self, a newfound strength, and a deeper understanding of the future she's ready to create, on her own terms. Meri, thank you for being here with me. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm ready to face it, on my own. The future is uncertain, But one thing is clear. Meri Brown is no longer just a wife in a polygamous marriage. She is a woman on a journey, finding her voice and carving her own path. What happens next? Only time will tell. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. For years, Meri Brown's life has been defined by sacrifice. As a wife in a polygamous marriage, her desires, needs, and dreams often took a back seat to those of her husband, Kody. And while the world watched her struggles unfold on Sister Wives, the truth was far more complex. Meri longed for a life outside the shadow of control, but breaking free seemed impossible. In the midst of it all, Meri's relationship with Kody was deteriorating. What was once a love built on shared values was now tainted by unresolved conflicts and misunderstandings. But in the midst of the chaos, a quiet rebellion began. Meri took the first step by leaving behind the suffocating walls of her home for a simple Christmas vacation. A vacation that would soon become a journey of self-discovery. With Jenn by her side, Meri hoped for nothing more than a peaceful retreat. But little did she know, the escape she longed for would come with its own set of challenges. Back home, Kody's attempts to control the lives of those around him were intensifying. It wasn't just his wives who were feeling the strain. Kody's latest demand, the imposition of chastity on his daughter's boyfriend, was the tipping point. The control he wielded over his own family had reached new extremes. His obsession with control and morality pushed the family to their breaking point. Kody's actions were no longer seen as leadership, but as authoritarian rule. The backlash from his wives was inevitable, and Meri, always the one to internalize her pain, began to realize just how deep the fractures in their family had become. As Kody's demand echoed in the air, Meri had made a choice. Enough was enough. And so, with Jenn by her side, she fled to New York, away from the drama, away from the demands. New York's holiday charm was everything Meri needed. The hustle of the city, the beautiful markets, the twinkling lights. It was all so new, so fresh. For the first time in years, Meri could breathe. And with Jenn by her side, they laughed, shopped, and created memories. Memories free from the weight of the polygamous world she was born into. But beneath the laughter, Meri found herself reflecting on the life she had left behind. The freedom was exhilarating, but the question remained. Could she truly leave everything behind? Or would she find herself pulled back into the family drama that had defined her for so long? Was this vacation just an escape, or a sign of something more? A journey to reclaim herself, or a temporary reprieve from a life she could never fully leave behind? As Meri enjoyed her time in New York, Kody's phone call brought her back to reality. His voice, filled with anger and frustration, demanded to know where she was, what she was doing, and why she hadn't returned. The pressure of family duty, of being Kody's wife, was never far from her mind. Kody, you can't just leave and think everything will be fine, Meri. We're a family, and we need you here. Meri, maybe we need to figure out what kind of family we actually are, Kody. With each passing day, Meri grew stronger. She began to see her time in New York as more than just an escape. It was a moment of clarity, a moment to decide who she truly wanted to be, outside of the roles she'd been forced to play for years. And with that clarity came a new realization. Was she willing to return home to a life of uncertainty and control? Or was she ready to break free, to live life on her own terms, without apology? Meri's journey had come full circle. The woman who once felt trapped by her family, by Kody's demands, had found the strength to embrace a new life. But the question remained. Would she return to the family, or would she embrace her newfound freedom? Whatever path she chose, one thing was clear. Meri was no longer the same person who had left for New York. The future is uncertain, but for the first time in years, Meri had the power to choose. And in that choice, she would either rewrite her story or remain caught in the past. For years, Meri Brown had struggled in the shadows of a family that often left her feeling invisible. As the first wife, her position in Kody's life should have been secure, yet time and time again, she found herself overlooked and undervalued. Meri's desire for a deeper connection with Kody was met with silence, and the weight of their fractured marriage grew unbearable. Meri, I just need to feel like I matter to you. Don't you see how hard I'm trying? These were the moments that left Meri feeling small. It wasn't just about being a wife in a plural marriage. It was about being seen, being heard. She longed for more than just a title. She wanted a real connection, one that could never truly exist within the confines of Kody's other relationships. Meri, do you know what Kody did this time? He told my daughter's boyfriend that he had to remain chaste until marriage. I thought, maybe it was just me, but that was so out of line. It's like he's trying to control everything, even the people outside of our marriage. Jenn, that's insane, Meri. I can't even imagine being in a relationship like that, where someone feels the need to dictate your life outside the relationship too. How does he even expect the family to function with this kind of pressure? Kody's demands weren't just about chastity. They were a symbol of his broader need for control. Over the years, his role as the patriarch had grown more rigid. What was once a shared family dynamic had evolved into an authoritarian structure. His actions, no longer just about the wives, but reaching into his children's lives, demonstrated the overwhelming grip he held over the family. The online community reacted swiftly, as fans of sister wives flooded social media with strong opinions. Kody's actions ignited a firestorm of debate. On Reddit, fans discussed the implications of his behavior, questioning whether his need for control was toxic or a deeply ingrained part of his beliefs. Why does Kody think he has the right to dictate his kids' relationships? This is so unhealthy, and honestly, it's terrifying that he's imposing these rules. I used to feel bad for Kody, but this is just crossing a line. It's not even about polygamy anymore. It's about control. Meri deserves so much better than this. Jenn, honestly, reading those comments makes me feel like people see the same things you're feeling. It's clear you're not alone in this. Meri, it's comforting to know that. I've been so caught up in my own head, but seeing others speak out, it's a reminder that I'm not the only one who sees the truth. In the quiet of Central Park, with only the sound of footsteps in the snow, Meri allowed herself to open up more than she ever had before. Jenn had been her rock, a constant source of support in the face of the chaos that had consumed her life. Meri, I don't know what I'm looking for, Jenn. I don't know if I'll ever find peace in my marriage. But this trip, it's given me a glimpse of what my life could be like without all the noise. I'm not saying I'll leave everything behind, but I do need to figure out who I really am. Jenn, take your time, Meri. You don't have to make any decisions right now. Just know that you're stronger than you think, and you deserve happiness no matter what form it takes. As Meri's time in New York drew to a close, she began to realize that this holiday wasn't just a getaway. It was a moment of transformation. The journey was no longer about escaping her family or running from Kody's demands. It was about finding herself again. Behind the facade of reality television, Meri had often felt trapped by expectations, both her own and those imposed by her family. As the first wife, she was always expected to be the pillar, the example. But what happens when that role no longer serves her? What happens when the person who has given so much to others starts asking, What about me? Meri. This trip wasn't just about the holidays. It was about finding a part of myself that I had lost. For the first time in a long time, I felt free. Maybe it's time to figure out what I truly want, not just what everyone else expects from me. Are you ready to see what Meri does next? Will she break free, or will she return to the family? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates on this emotional journey. The best is yet to come.